Hey guys, what's up? It's Katie. It is Sunday afternoon. It is beautiful in Minnesota, and I am going stir crazy. And I think everyone is because, well, the status of the world. And a lot of us have been stuck at home for weeks, and it's you know what I mean? Like, that's how I'm feeling. Like, oh my God, get me out of here. Like, I miss leaving my house. I miss even having the option to go places. And when you're dealing with it, obviously, we're all doing this for the greater good, and we're making sure that we stay away from other people so that we don't potentially get them sick. And I totally understand why we're doing this, but it still can be really hard, especially if you have children. Like, by the way, all you parents that have kids that are doing all of like the social, like, distancing and doing all the homeschooling, like Minnesota, we're not going back to school this year. Like, our kids are going to be doing online education for the rest of the year. So if you are a parent doing that, props to you. Now, Jessa already does homeschooling. Now, this little boy, Israel, he was planning on going to kindergarten in the fall in Arkansas. Hopefully by then, schools will have a way to manage all of this so our kids can be back in school. Hopefully by then, things will have calmed down and we will be able to, like resume life in a way. I don't think life will ever go back to the way it was, but let's just hope, because we were all super excited when we found out that Jill and Derek Dillard enrolled their 5-year-old Israel into kindergarten, and he was so excited to start. So I hope that this does not like stop that for this little boy. Anyways, now one of the things that's been going on in this whole family, as you know, is this sort of a rift, right, between Jill Dillard and Derek Dillard and Jim Bob Duggar. And Derek Dillard spoke to us about, I don't know, a month ago. If you haven't seen that, you can check it out up here. But he said that they were sort of removing people from their lives that were toxic. That doesn't mean that all people from the family are toxic. And it also doesn't mean that like all relationships in the family are not working. In fact, he said, with every family, there will always be people that you don't get along with, right? It's a big family. It's like a huge family. Anyways, Jill and Jessa have historically not had the closest relationship, even though they are close in age. Jessa has always been closer to Ginger, but with Ginger now in California, it appears as though Jessa and Jill have been spending more time together, or at least trying to. They saw each other where they had lunch with a couple friends. That was a few months ago. And then, there was that whole Jill shows up and like is invited to go to Target and have lunch at Panera with her family members when Ginger was in town. But this snap here is the first time we've seen their kids together in a super long time. Now, the photo was shared on Instagram by Jessa and Jill, and she tagged Jessa, and it says, the cousins finally got to see each other yesterday for the first time in a while. Not specifying how long it's been. So that's interesting, right? We have no idea like how long it's been since these two hung out. Now, he did have a birthday party last year, so last March, when he turned 4, Israel that is, and I believe Spurgeon was at the party then, but it's not known like if it's been since then, since they've gotten together, because Jill wasn't at Christmas, she wasn't at Thanksgiving, she doesn't spend a lot of time at the Duggar house. So unless these two are like getting together as families, which it doesn't seem as though they are, the cousins have probably not seen each other in a very long time. So the fact that they got to see each other and sort of spend some time together is good. They're a little bit closer than social distancing guidelines, but that's okay. As long as they didn't touch each other, we should be good, at least for as long as they're kids. Anyways, so this is exciting, to have the kids seeing each other. And this follows Jessa uploading 2 videos where she basically proclaimed her love and affection for mom and dad, pretending like everything that Derek said in his, interview was basically like a lie, because she says that dad pays her, and fans are saying like Jessa's making these videos because she really needs a bigger house, but Jessa insists it's because she misses her family. So could this be why Jessa suddenly needed to see Jill and was like, I miss my family? Well, turns out it was because Jessa wanted help with propagating plants. So apparently she said the second attempt at propagating plants, thanks for the cuttings, Jill. So I guess she stopped by Jill's house and grabbed some cuttings from maybe her garden. And she said the last time the stems turned moldy and they perished. If any of you are plant experts and want to lend me some advice, I'd be happy to have it. And then she shared this photo of Jill at her door with the cuttings. And then this photo driving up, and they are displaying proper social distancing. Now, Jill has been like all about the social distancing. She even did this Instagram post a couple days ago talking about an emotional purchase of buying a tree and wanted to know if other people are doing emotional purchasing. And I'll just say, no, Jill, I'm just doing a lot of emotional eating. Who else is like pigging out right now? I think a lot of us are going to have the quarantine 15, if you know what I'm saying. So Jill and Jessa get together. Jill has doing all the social distancing. She has been, they had to celebrate Israel's birthday without family. They did a birthday party outside at Derek's mom's house. And Michelle stopped by and dropped off some food, which apparently is like what she does because it was Jason's birthday this week. And they gave him root beer and snacks. Interesting, right? Who has not been abiding by social distancing guidelines? The Duggars. Now, I should note that Arkansas does not have a stay-at-home order. Yeah, that's right. Way to go, Arkansas. Way to go. Anyways, the Duggars were actually spotted at church last week. Now, it's unknown if they were at church today, but they've been apparently attending the church of Kendra Duggar, Kendra Caldwell, her father. Her father has a church. He's super fundy Baptist. And he's very, very, very conservative. And there is some rumors on the horizon that Kendra's little sister and Jason Duggar are dating or courting. So could there be a dual marriage between the Caldwell and the Duggar families? Now, both of these families are very, 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 very conservative, very, 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 very equivocal. So yeah, it's like two royalties. It's like royalty. Jason just, I think, turned 20. So he's still really young. But, in Duggar land, 20 is practically ancient. And, Jed and Jeremiah are still single. So could Jason beat his older brothers to the altar? Who's got bets on it? Either way, it's nice to see the girls trying to sort of foster some sort of relationship, whether or not it's genuine, whether or not it's close, I don't know. But obviously, with any family, you don't want to see continued strife. You don't want to see continued separation. And if Jill's issue is with her parents or with her dad, that shouldn't hopefully affect some of the relationships with her sisters. And Jessa is by far, as a lot of people say, the most drinking the Kool-Aid, and she's also Jessa does damage control for the family. So some people were sending me messages like, is this damage control? Is Jessa doing damage control by showing up at Jill's house? I don't know. I doubt it. Maybe they're just missing each other. You know what I mean? Everyone's stuck at home. It doesn't seem like it, but that's just me. I'm just happy whenever I see people trying to make an effort, because as much as I don't like what Jim Bob Duggar's doing, I don't think that the kids for this part aren't in the wrong. They just didn't get the best. They were kept away from everything and brainwashed. So you can't really blame the kids. It's Jim Bob that started it and ended it. Anyways, so what do you think? Some of my people were like, this is damage control. Other people were like, this is great. I love seeing this. Other people were like, Jill needs to stop falling for this. Now, I think Jill is probably one of those people. Amy has said that Jill is incredibly sweet. And that's exactly what Derek said to me, is that she is sweet, a sweet woman that would do anything for anyone. So it's probably just Jill's nature. Regardless of what's going on in her family, she'll probably be there no matter what. And that's not a bad trait to have. But as Derek also mentioned, she's working on understanding boundaries. So we'll have to see how this all plays out. I will keep you posted on everything Duggar land. I'm trying to give you all the Duggar tea as much as possible. So tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Do you believe it? Are they friends? Is it just because they're stir crazy and it's quarantine season? Is it damage control? And are you happy to see the kids together? And do you think Israel was all like, hey, Spurge, I'm going to go to the big school, the place where public things happen. You should come too. Ooh, maybe Israel could be an influence on Spurgey and get him to go to public school. Now, some people didn't also speculated, sorry, on a tangent. Some people said that maybe Jessa was doing these videos about mom and dad to get a bigger house. So do you think that it wasn't damage control and it was more like, hey, Jim, Michelle, you guys are so great. I need a bigger house. My house is really tiny for 3 kids. We don't even have a room for Ivy. Do you think it was for a bigger house? All right, you guys, I'll be back later with more. Bye.